Weeks into the war in Ukraine, frantic efforts were being made to help evacuate foreigners, especially students, out of crisis-hit areas, Kherson, Sumy, you can name them. Many of those humanitarian efforts were being coordinated by people outside of Ukraine, people miles and miles away in countries across the Atlantic. Just ordinary people brought together by a common cause to get innocent civilians out of the war zone. In the course of our coverage over the weeks, we spoke to two such coordinators there with the Diaspora Relief and are still focused on helping Nigerians and Africans leave Ukraine's shelled cities and to resettle in neighboring countries. Danielle Onyekwere and Fumi Adeleye Oladejo join me now. Danielle is in Texas. Fumi is in Maryland. Ladies, thank you both for joining me this morning. I know it's really early where you are.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, if we could just see your faces, I'm sure the viewers are wondering who I'm speaking to. At the last time we spoke, we were both coordinating evacuations out of Kherson, right? So how are you today? And what's the update?
Okay, I'll go.
Danielle.
We're good. We're good, and it's been a long, excruciating, draining journey, but we're good. And so far, we know that there are no Africans left in Kherson. The last batch was left, like I think about 2 weeks ago, and so right now, all we're just doing is maintaining. Maintenance, that's what we're doing. So making sure that people are housed, are fed. We have them scattered we have students scattered all over Eastern Europe. We have them in Germany, Slovakia, Switzerland, Austria, Netherlands, Poland, Slovakia, Moldova. So it's just maintenance right now, and keeping their spirits up. I thought that the war would be over because in 2014 something like this happened, but it wasn't of this magnitude. So I thought that we'll be done by now and everybody will be going back to rebuilding and restructuring. But here we are, just not knowing what will happen tomorrow.
Danielle, Fumi mentioned 2014. Did you do the same thing? Were you both partners then in 2014, coordinating relief efforts and evacuations as well, back then?
No. 2014, I was just just got out of high school, was just, finishing my life. I didn't have any humanitarian thing going on. Just, this is the first time I actually merged myself into something like this. So you could tell that it was a lot, was unorganized, not planned, and everything was just spontaneous, happening as it goes.
So for both of you, and I know that, viewers did follow your story back then when we first told it, but for those who don't know, two of you, you're both living in two different states in the United States. You both got interested, in what was going on in Ukraine, where you saw the videos of Nigerians and, African students who were stranded, in cities such as Sumy, in Kherson, and then you started rallying support, for those Nigerians. Help us understand, why you did this, why you started doing this, even though you were just thousands of miles away from where these people were.
I think it was a video. It was one video that we saw where it started off with the lady with the baby in the cold. So, and people were looking for her. People were like, where is she? Rallying for her. Now she has a newborn baby. The baby wasn't even up to 3 months old, I think, at the time we saw the video, and the video went viral. So from there, we joined on to a Twitter space, and then that's how everything, people were looking for resources. We started digging for resources. We started coordinating, and we're able to gather a big group of volunteers that were able to join us and start the whole evacuation process. So the donations came in via just running spaces and, sharing our donation links and things. And then that's how we were able to get funding to be able to help get the people out. So, I stated previously, in the other, interview we had about how, a lot of these people were facing racism. So they were choosing Ukrainians over the Africans, over the Black people. Just, people of color were being chosen last. So it was like, oh, let's evacuate our people and you guys figure out your way, and it even got to the point of where they were charging people $700, $500 per head just to evacuate. And, you know, at that time where you just left everything, you don't have anything, you don't have any money, and you're just on the run and you're trying to flee from Ukraine, is like, where do you get that kind of money? And it's not something that you planned for. So that's where it really started, was just from seeing that video, seeing the video of the people being pushed off the trains, seeing the video of the baby in the cold. A lot of people got sick, you know, during this whole period, and trying to evacuate, and, you know, not seeing, you know, a lot of, you know, media attention outside of just, you know, Ukraine and maybe Nigeria, paying attention to the people outside. You know, I feel like, you know, U.S. media paid a lot of attention to the Ukraine war, but not so much on the Africans being facing racism, or just, you know, other people facing racism. It wasn't that much media attention on it, and still isn't, you know. So that's where everything just sparked.
Fumi, what was it for you?
So for me, it was on the 25th. I went on a space and I just heard like horrific stories of people trying to leave Ukraine. There's a war there. There's this. I mean, we heard the rumors that there was going to be a war. I was following the news, but I didn't think it would happen. Even if it did, I thought we lived in a more civilized environment, and that with America, with UK, with all this Western bodies, that this war, it won't come to this. So I just monitored the story, and I put out a tweet that, you know, praying for everyone in Ukraine, have a plan B. On the 25th, I got on the space and I heard all kinds of stuff happening, like people trying to, like the shelling had started in Kyiv. It started, the action was on, and I was like, okay, let's go. What do we need? What can we give? I donated, and then I said, donation, I donated, but at that point, it was beyond that, because I heard someone crying. So I had, while I was in space, I had the siren going on, and I had somebody crying, please help us, we don't know what, you know, it was just like, what? So I stopped, I was like, and I requested for the mic, and I was like, listen, we want to help, but how many Nigerians are actually here? How many Black people are actually here to begin with? Because I know Ukraine is a medical hub, but I didn't think that, you know, it was that many Nigerians there. And it was like, oh, we're 1,000, no, we're 4,000, no, we're 10,000. I was like, wait, what? Whoa, okay, where are you guys? Like, we're everywhere. Yeah, I was like, they're like, we're everywhere. I'm like, what does everywhere mean? So I was like, before we knew what was going on, we're working to the Polish border. I was like, walking to the Polish border. So I took out the map and I was like, where's Ukraine? Where's Poland? You're walking to where? So at that point, you know, you just had to be a stone not to be moved by what was going on. You had to have no heart in you not to want to do something. And I always had this pang for humanity. Like, I've always done humanitarian work up and down, you know, the coast. I have an NGO actually, apart from Diaspora Relief, that me and I just co-founded. I had Project Hope, but I was focusing more on Nigerian people in Nigeria. So I just jumped in. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just jumped in. And as the horrific video started pouring in, I had a source on ground. I met him on space. His name is Michael, and he's a medical student in Poland. So he left his studies and drove to the Medica border. And he was giving me live feed. So I was getting like live videos of everything that was happening there. It was horrific. At some point, they were like, don't kill us. If you like, kill us. You can't finish killing us. I'm like, people are trying to escape. You want to kill them again. Like, what is, like, the barbaric nature of this situation, I have never witnessed. I mean, God, I pray that none of us see a war, because these children have been through hell and back. Like, they had guns pointed at them. They had them at gunpoint, trying to cross, like, move. You know, they wanted Ukrainians to pass. They wanted other nationals to go through. They were like pushing them through, you know. So,
okay, so let's
had to know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to cut you short. I know we've heard the stories before, and we've seen, the pictures. And thanks to both of you, scores of Nigerians have left, scores of Africans have left Ukraine, and you're now trying to help them to settle, right, in different countries, in neighboring countries, Hungary, Romania, and a number of other countries. Could you tell us, how that's going? And what the challenges have been for both of you?
So the major challenge is funding because it's expensive. We had Airbnb vouchers that Airbnb did something with giving out free vouchers for students that will last a month, but this is already past a month. So now we're having to pay for accommodation, pay for Airbnb, pay for feeding. The Muslims just finished their fasting, so we had to support the Muslim community with their whole fasting situation, because we have quite a number of them in asylum camps that when they feed them in the morning, they give them, I think, food at around 9 a.m. and then dinner was around, I don't know, weird timing, and they had to eat early and eat late. So we had to sort that out. So and education too. We're looking for universities that will take them on. We've had so many meetings with different universities. And I can't even keep tab anymore of how many people we sat down to talk to about educational assistance, like schools absorbing the students into their system. It's slowly happening, very slowly. But we hope that in the coming weeks, as they create better laws to absorb them, it will get better. Germany is a good one right now. Germany is processing them, but not for education particularly, because in Germany you have to go through the whole language studies before you are able to actually go to medical school. So a lot of the students in Germany, we're verified with them that they are already in language school, that are under our care. They're already doing their language studies, and it's through some partnership that we found. It's free of charge. The NGO that we found that we're working with in Germany paid for all of their language courses. But that's not the case for everybody. We have so many other situations, but it's just one day at a time that we are right now. Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps, Danielle, you could complete that part and tell us what else, you guys are going through, how you're helping people resettle. You're still doing a lot more behind the scenes, even though, you're not posting a lot of that on social media and in spaces where people can see, but there's still so much going on behind the scenes, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Like, we still have the people in Nigeria. When you and I spoke earlier, I mentioned the concern of, the people that went back to Nigeria basically just. A majority of them are either they stop their school completely because they are not able to afford the data that that is required for them to be able to maintain online schooling, or we have the people that the data is too expensive. So we've been providing data for the people in Nigeria to be able to continue to online school. I know a lot of them actually expressed concerns about wanting to come back, but it's like, well, how do you come back? Like, now it's not really, all the laws that are being placed are not really favorable to third country nationals. So the people that are staying, in these neighboring countries are staying on a temporary basis. Mm-hmm. Like, we have the people in Hungary now, they're doing their school online. So their school in Ukraine is still doing online classes. So they're just staying put for now, trying to do their online classes until they figure out, a lot of them had the idea that once the war stopped, they would go back. But from what we're seeing in the news, clearly, that's not something that we can predict that it's going to end, tomorrow or end next month. So we're trying to work with the people in Nigeria, also work with the people, all over. And we've been less, at posting just because we've been having a lot of meetings trying to gather things and resources that are going to be able to help these students. A lot of them express concerns about wanting to, work. Like, can we work and be able to use that money to take care of ourselves? They're looking for long-term options. So if they were Ukrainian citizens, I feel like the laws favor Ukrainian citizens, but being third country nationals has been so difficult trying to find resources, but we'll keep pushing on and keep trying and keep, trying to, push down every door we can to, see what we can do to help these people out.
Well, Fumi and Danielle, I know you both have lots of stories to tell, some that you can't tell here, not in this space, of course, but others that you're dealing with, and the other challenges that are going on behind the scenes, which you are secretly holding to your chest. I do understand that. We're with you. We're with you on this journey. We thank you for what you've been doing, and we wish
Thank
you all
you.
of the best.
Thank you.
Reach out to us
Thank you.
whenever you can.